now any more than he could at the beginning of the winter. "Shall you stay long?" asked Kitty. "I do not know," he answered, without regard to what he was saying. The thought that, if he fell back into that tone of calm friendship, he might return home without reaching any decision, occurred to him, and he resolved to rebel against it. "Why don't you know?" "I don't know why. It depends on you," he said, and instantly he was horrified at his own words. She either did not understand his words or did not want to understand them, for, seeming to stumble once or twice, catching her foot, she hurriedly skated away from him, and, having spoken to Mademoiselle Linon, she went to the little house where her skates were removed by the waiting women. "O God, what have I done? O Lord God, have pity on me, and come to my aid," was Levin's secret prayer. And, feeling the need of taking some violent exercise, he began to describe outer and inner curves on the ice. At this instant a young man, the best among the recent skaters, came out of the café with his skates on, and a cigarette in his mouth. With one spring he slid down, slipping and leaping from step to step, and, without even changing the easy position of his arms, skated down and out upon the ice. "Ah, that is a new trick," said Levin to himself, and he climbed up to the top of the bank to try the new trick. "Don't kill yourself, it needs practice," shouted Nikolai Shtcherbatsky. Levin went up on the platform, got as good a start as he could, and then flew down the steps, preserving his balance with his arms, but at the last step he stumbled, made a violent effort to recover himself, regained his equilibrium, and with a laugh glided out upon the ice. "Charming, glorious fellow," thought Kitty, at this moment coming out of the little house with Mademoiselle Linon, and looking at him with a gentle affectionate smile, as if he were a beloved brother. "Is it my fault? Have I done anything very bad? People say coquetry. I know that I don't love him, but it is pleasant to be with him, and he is such a splendid fellow. But what made him say that?" Seeing Kitty departing with her mother, who had come for her, Levin, flushed with his violent exercise, stopped and pondered. Then he took off his skates and joined the mother and daughter at the gate. "Very glad to see you," said the princess. "We receive on Thursdays, as usual." "To-day, then?" "We shall be very glad to see you," she answered coolly. This coolness troubled Kitty, and she could not restrain her desire to temper her mother's chilling manner. She turned her head and said with a smile, "We shall see you, I hope." At this moment Stepan Arkadyevitch, with hat on one side, with animated face and bright eyes, entered the garden. But as he came up to his wife's mother, he assumed a melancholy and humiliated expression, and replied to the questions which she asked about Dolly's health. When he had finished speaking in a low and broken voice with his mother-in-law, he straightened himself up and took Levin's arm. "Now then, shall we go? I've been thinking of you all the time, and I am very glad that you came," he said, with a significant look into his eyes. Come on," replied the happy Levin, who did not cease to hear the sound of a voice saying, "We shall see you, I hope," or to recall the smile that accompanied the words. "At the Angela or at the Hermitage?" "It's all the same to me." "At the Angela, then," said Stepan Arkadyevitch, making this choice because he owed more there than at the Hermitage, and it seemed unworthy of him, so to speak, to avoid this restaurant. "You have an isvostchik? So much the better, for I sent off my carriage." While they were on the way, the friends did not exchange a word. Levin was pondering on the meaning of the change in the expression of Kitty's face, and at one moment persuaded himself that there was hope, and at the next plunged into despair. And he saw clearly that his hope was unreasonable. Nevertheless, he felt that he was another man since he had heard those words, "We shall see you, I hope," and seen her smile. Stepan Arkadyevitch was in the meantime making out the menu for their dinner. "You like turbot, don't you?" were his first words on entering the restaurant. "What?" exclaimed Levin. "Turbot. Yes, I am excessively fond of turbot." Chapter 9